Welcome to the 9-Hole Championship here on Sky Sports, the final event of this season's American Golf Championship Series. Throughout the UK and Ireland qualifying events and the 5 grand finals, thousands of amateur players have enjoyed a wide range of free golfing opportunities aimed at increasing participation and getting the whole family involved in the sport. In addition to simply getting more people playing golf, we've also crowned 13 champions to date this year and sent 4 players off to Texas for the Long Drive World Championships. It's been a massive season so far, and the televised grand finals started at Gainsborough Golf Club in Lincolnshire for the 3rd edition of the American Golf Junior Championship, where Sam McIntyre claimed the under-8s title and Sean Keeling took the over-8s trophy. Elle Gibson won the girls' event and finished runner-up in the overall. Lachlan Reynolds shot 2 over to bring him the gross title. And Kyle Honer was crowned the overall champion, taking the trophy back to Roganstown in Ireland. The series then landed at Highley Park in Knutsford, where the big hitters launched their challenge for titles at the American Golf Long Drive Championship, the official UK qualifier for the World Championships in the USA. Matt Nicole's 366-yard ball took the staff title to book his seat on the plane to Texas, and Anton Reeder roared his way to the over 45s trophy with a 340-yard drive. Cutting it way too fine, Lucas Dornan drilled this 368-yarder with his last ball of the tournament to win the under 45s final. And for the 2nd year running, Rebecca McGinley, the superstar of UK long driving, smashed her way to the ladies' title and a shot at beating her 2015 World Championship bronze medal. From Highley Park, the series arrived at the iconic Belfry for the last 3 events of the season, starting with the first ever American Golf Ladies Championship. After 2 days of convivial tournament play, socialising and some superbly competitive golf, Sussex pairing Sarah Cooper-Olsen and Maggie Hopkins were crowned the inaugural Ladies Champions. The ladies' event was followed by another first, the American Golf Seniors Championship, a hugely popular addition to the calendar which produced a very entertaining grand final here at the Belfry. The trophy eventually went to another Sussex-based duo, Ian Hendry and Martin Leo, who played some magnificent golf on their way to winning the title by an impressive margin, 6 points clear of their nearest challengers. Congratulations to all our champions so far, and to all the UK and Ireland amateur golfers that have been part of this amazing season. So that leaves just one more event to be decided this year, the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. 22 pairs are here at the grand final to challenge for the title, including the defending champions, 2015 winners Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly, who claimed the inaugural title with a dramatic victory in last year's shootout, taking the final in some style with a 2-1 win over brothers Tom and Sam Ruddle. Over the next exciting hour of action though, we'll find out if another pair can wrestle the trophy away from Luke and Mark in 2016. And so we march on into our 2nd year of the 9-hole tournament. Here's American Golf's Daniel Gathercole to tell us more.
The 9-hole event is all about sending out the message that you can play golf in 2 hours. That's it, pure and simple. And there's a lot of talk about why people don't play golf anymore. The biggest factor is time. You know, if you've got a young family, spending 5-6 hours on the golf course can be quite difficult. Actually, you can play golf in 2 hours. You can rock up at 5:30 after work in the summer, have a quick drink after and be home for kind of 8 o'clock. And that's the simple message. So all our events, all our regional events kick off at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the evening, played throughout the summer. Again, it's just about the speed of play. It's an issue for a lot of people, but the answer is just play less holes. Play 9 holes, play 12 holes, play a pitch and putt course, go and play adventure golf, just get golfing. That's a simple message.
More from Daniel at the end of the show. Back to the American Golf 9-hole tournament now though, and here's how it all works over the next 2 days. First up, 2 rounds of 9-hole golf on the Brabazon course with Stableford scoring off 9/10 handicap. The key though is that the top 4 pairs qualify for the dramatic match play phase, with straight knockout semis on the front 9 and a winner-takes-all final on the back 9. Time to get the action underway now and to hear from some of the players as they get ready to hit their first tee shots on the Brabazon. about to create their own piece of golfing history here at the Belfry, as the 9-hole gladiators head into this legendary golfing coliseum once again.
What's on top of your driver there? What's the story behind that?
Well, this little fella's mac and cheese. It's my daughter's little mascot, and the fact that I'm coming to the Belfry this weekend without her, she insisted that mac and cheese came here with us, and he's going to be, well, basically coming all around the course and hopefully give us some luck. That's the plan anyway.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a different game, only playing 9 holes. I usually take 3 to warm up.
Good tournament so far. We'll tell you different tomorrow, depending on how we do, but hey ho.
Yeah, just did our best and lucky to sort of get to this stage now. So.
And now you're here playing at the Belfry. Just tell us about that.
Couldn't wish for more, could we? As we drove in, I mean, what a setting, and you know, can't wait to get on the course.
James saw it on TV last year, and she said, "Hey, come on, we ought to be having a look at this." And the qualifier was at Woodall, which is only 25 minutes up the road from us, isn't it? So he said, "Right, we'll have to go in for that then." And what a night! It was great, wasn't it? Great.
We went there for a bit of fun, which we did have a bit of fun. We started par, bogey, par, and thought, oh, this is not looking good. And Duncan said to me, we did a few birdies. I birdied the next 3, he birdied the next 3, so we finished 5 under gross, 25 points. And it was a great buzz, to be fair. Well organised, really enjoyed it.
How did you qualify for these championships?
Right, it's a good story, this one. What it was, my wife, she said, I've entered you in for a competition from American Golf. I went, oh, fine, lovely, not a problem. So she showed it to me. I looked there, I went, oh, Stubbles. So I phoned Mark up straight away. I said, Mark, we're in a competition, American Golf. He went, lovely. So we tried to get into the Welsh qualifiers. It was fully booked, couldn't get in there. Wiltshire was the closest one. So I booked us in for that. We went over there and won it.
Stand a good chance, don't we? 1 in 20, it's better than lottery, so.
And how do you guys play as a team?
We're okay, I think. Yeah, if we both play half decent, we dovetail quite well. So I score on some, he scores on most. So
Martin's long and I'm accurate, so that's how our team goes. He hits the ball a long way, so we try our best to sort of play on each other's strengths.
And how do you work as a team?
I think we work well.
Sometimes.
We fall out, don't we?
Yeah.
Don't last more than 10 minutes. He realises he's wrong and we're away. So obviously carry Brian because I'm a lot bigger and stronger. So, you know, it's hard for him to do it. He goes to the gym a lot, but he does struggle.
Bad back. We know the truth, don't we, Brian?
Yes, we do, yeah.
We've had a couple of practice rounds this week and dovetailed nicely, so it's all looking good. We'll probably see you later on the 9th, crying.
What would it mean if you managed to win it?
Well,
bragging rights.
Yeah.
Dare I say, bragging rights.
Have you set yourself a goal today in the wind?
Just get round, yeah.
You only need 18 points minimum to get through. That's minimum scores.
I thought 17 today with the wind. People have been talking about 20s, but 20 I think could be a great score.
Have you set yourself a target today in these conditions?
Yes. Go on.
22.
So 22.
22, okay.
Be in the mix and see how it goes tomorrow. Depends how things go.
Yeah, 22. I'll be well chuffed for that.
Yeah.
But we'll see, won't we?
Any message for your other competitors?
Don't try too hard.
And what would it mean to take this title?
Oh, it'd be fantastic. For our club, it'd be great. For us too, going forward next year, be a good stepping stone.
Any message for the rest of your competitors?
Good luck.
Do you mean that?
No.
The key action at the American Golf 9-hole Championship happens at the business end of the tournament in the KO semis and winner-takes-all final. But the pairs have to finish in the top 4 after 2 9-hole rounds to make the big show. And this is how the key movers and shakers got on in round 1. 5 teams tied for 7th place with the strong winds threatening to destroy scorecards on this championship course. Needless to say, birdies were at a premium, which made this near hole-in-one at the 7th from Farley Golf Club's Paul White very close to gold dust. He went on to hold the part for 4 points and put he and nephew Harry Johnson in the frame. The luck wasn't quite with Maylands pair Russell Joseph and Alpesh Patel in round 1, but they battled hard in the wind to get amongst the 18-pointers. Alpesh's birdie at 8 to card 4 points was the pick of the bunch. Also in the mix, Chris Gregson and Alan Gunnagle, who qualified from Highley Park. 2 3s and 6 2s underpinned a very solid performance. They never recovered from a blob at 3 though, but there's always tomorrow. 5-handicapper Duncan McDonald and 4-handicapper Colin Trestrail had very few shots at their disposal, so it was always going to be a challenging day. But impressively, the Louth Golf Club boys came in on every hole to put themselves in the frame. Lucky mascot Mac and Cheese looked anything but for the Caerphilly pairing of Delphi Rees and Steve Kent, whose 7 points from 5 holes left the Welsh pair looking pretty glum. But another 7 from the next 3 holes, followed by this stunning chip to add another 4-pointer to the card at 9, soon had them singing in the valleys. Delphi and Steve's playing partners were defending champions Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly. The Selby Golf Club lads on form at the Belfry again with 19 points and playing another starring role on Sky Sports.
It's a bit cliched, but our target is just to enjoy it, mate, isn't it, today? Just to try and enjoy it. I got all let up last year, worried about what other people did, and this year we've been there, done it, so we're just going to have a great weekend and enjoy ourselves.
And has anyone recognised you since last year's Sky Sports coverage?
Oh, everyone. Yeah, everyone sees us at Golf Club and, oh, you're on that advert? Yes, we are, yeah.
Everywhere we go, yeah. So plenty of stick up north. Absolutely. Just like it should be.
Definitely, yeah.
Well done, boys. Great stuff last year. We wish you all the best for this year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just like last year, the reigning champions didn't make top 4 after round 1, but they did score on every hole and looked to be pretty relaxed out on the course. Keep an eye on the champs in tomorrow's second round. The rest of the field will be doing that for sure. 3 teams tied third, the first of an eventual 5 teams to score 20 points or better in the testing conditions. Lawrence Horan and Andrew Keane started their 9 holes with 2 3-pointers and managed to keep the scoring going on every hole. They left points out on the course at 7 and eventually 9 when this putt failed to drop for Andy, but they'll be in business at the start of round 2. Keeping it in the family were father and son team Steve and James Hodgson. The Boston Golf Club boys launched their challenge with consistent 2-pointers across the card and this impressive birdie at the 3rd from 4-handicapper James to throw a valuable 4-pointer into the mix. Last year's losing semi-finalists Ireland's Tom Muldoon and Kevin Commins were back for another shot at the title, and it was Kevin who had one of those days out on the course with a 4-pointer and 2 threes to boost the team score, knocking the flag out at 7 to eventually make birdie and give way to some normally closely guarded emotion. Still smarting from last year's semi-final exit, it was game faces on and an indication that they are here to win this time around. In fact, Ireland dominated the top of this year's Round 1 leaderboard. In second place, Ballykistine Golf Club players James Keane and Dennis O'Brien. They were heading for a relatively tame round when they blobbed 7, leaving them stranded on just 13 points. Cue Dennis, coming to life with a birdie finish, including that clonking putt at 9. An 8-point swing on the final 2 holes put them right in the mix for the second day. The pair they'll all be chasing though on day 2 got the ball round in impressive style for 23 points. Hibernian Golf Club superstars Conor Caroon and Gavin Morris didn't make any birdies, but solid par golf meant they made full use of their shots for 6 3-pointers. Left-hander Gavin earned a cliched response from this hackneyed old commentator. Yes, you guessed it. A Mickelson-esque display of short game quality contributed massively to their impressive performance. Ka-ching. In strong winds, it was a day of impressive scoring. Caroon and Morris earning themselves a very handy 2-point cushion heading into the second round. With rain forecast for tomorrow, but an overall improvement in conditions, there is still a chance that a good number of the chasing pack could challenge for a semi-final place. It's a question, though, of keeping the faith for the pairs a little further back than they would like to be. Things get very interesting after the break with that battle to finish in the top 4 as the action gets even tastier at the American Golf 9-Hole Championship right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the Belfry and day 2 of the American Golf Championship. The windy conditions have relented, but the rain has arrived as the competitors take on the back 9 of the Brabazon for a place in this afternoon's match play semi-finals. Highlights from round 2 coming up shortly. The American Golf Initiative to get people playing and participating in golf has understandably attracted the attention of the sports media in general, and in particular the national and regional golf press. So where better to invite journalists than the Belfry to hear more about American Golf's plans to develop their amateur golf tour and to experience the televised ladies, seniors and 9-hole grand final atmosphere firsthand. Suggestions, ideas and golfing stories were exchanged over lunch, after which Daniel Gathercole presented American Golf's vision for the future. We spoke to some of the journalists about their reactions to the initiatives and their view on golf's current state of play.
As a magazine, we're keen to get more people playing. I think the media can be guilty at times of reporting all the bad stuff that happens around participation, but I think we have a role definitely to report the good stuff, and this is certainly one of those good things happening in golf as a positive to grow the game and get more people playing.
It's fantastic to be here. It's so important that any golf event is inclusive to everyone, whether that's man or woman, and to see so many ladies playing, so many ladies out on the golf course. It's really great.
We, as a magazine, have been trying to support it and help people take part and get involved in all the different local events to them through social media. Actually being here and seeing the culmination of that's been fantastic. I think it can only have a positive impact as the golfers go back and tell their friends at their club or their friends that maybe don't play golf, will hopefully spur their friends to pick up a club and take part.
Well, the American Golf Initiative is a great idea because it's bringing together an awareness of how important golf is within a community, within the country.
We always try and promote as many events as possible in different formats as well to really promote golf and show people, it's not just a stroke play event. We saw that at the Olympics, but there's so many different formats as well, and people should try and give golf a go.
It's a good chance for ourselves at Midlands Golf to make contact with clubs and associations and media from other parts of the country. I think that's very important. So together, hopefully, we can build some relationships today and help spread the message a bit further.
It's a fantastic initiative to obviously get more people playing golf. The fact that it's free to enter, really breaking down the barriers for people to get involved in the game, I think that can only be a good thing. American Golf are doing all the right things to increase the participation levels and get more people enjoying the game.
Back to the action now, and round 2 was all about making top 4 and the match play semi-finals, something that Tom Muldoon and Kevin Commins have a superb knack of doing when it comes to big Sky Sports TV events. They played some very solid golf on the back nine to score 24 points, which rocketed them to the top of the standings, leading qualifiers for the second year running, going into the knockout rounds. Fellow Irishmen Dennis O'Brien and James Keane equalled that score but ended round 2 as second place qualifiers on countback. Both players showed some tremendous skill and composure on the Brabazon back nine. Not quite the 4-4 finish from yesterday, but 3 threes were more than good enough. James putting the icing on the cake with this fabulous approach to 18, taking the famous Tiers and the rest of the field out of the equation to book their semi-final spot. In third place, another team got clear of the pack, also recording 23 points on the back nine to post a 43-point total. Father and son team, the Hodgsons. After a blistering start, the pair faltered at 15 and 16. Dad Steve convinced he'd let son James down. But back they came at 17 and 18, the Governor draining this one to finish the job in style on the last, leaving the Hodgsons to march into the semis. Just one place left to play for then, and that ended up as a real bun fight. Tournament leaders 17 and 15 handicappers Connor Caroon and Gavin Morris got off to a flyer in the second round, but the putts that had been dropping started to stay above ground. 19 points scored through 8 holes left them needing this putt to guarantee a place in the final. But it ended up a second blob for the round, leaving them on 42 points and at the mercy of none other than the defending champions. Just like last year, Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly were in no mood to show anyone any mercy, putting together a battling 23-point round and making this putt for a 42-point total and a skin-of-the-teeth place in the semi-finals on countback. So the reigning champions still have one hand on the trophy, but their next test is big, meeting Commins and Muldoon in semi-final 1. Leaving the third-placed Hodgsons to meet second-place O'Brien and Keane in semi-final 2. It's a mouth-watering lineup for the first round of match play, and we've got highlights action coming right up after we hear from Chris Knight of event sponsors Golf Now.
Golf Now are really proud to be partnering with American Golf across both the 9-hole and Seniors Championship. It gives us the opportunity to increase the participation of the sport at a grassroots level. It gives us a chance to get people playing the sport, and that's one of our aims at Golf Now, to grow the game of golf. I regularly play 9 holes of golf just to be able to fit it in after work, as we are getting tighter on time across all of our lives. I think they're a little nervous, obviously playing for such a big prize, but the level of competition will be high, no doubt. The winners of the 9-hole championship get the opportunity to play the National Golf Club in France ahead of the 2018 Ryder Cup.
It's knockout all the way from here as we head into the match play action. Confirmation then of our semi-final lineup. The number 1 seeds Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon have their hands full in semi-final 1 against the defending champions Luke Eustace and Mark Kelly. And in the second semi, number 2 seeds Dennis O'Brien and James Keane take on the Hodgsons. Right, let's meet the teams for the opener. They might be amateurs, but Ireland's Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon bring a level of planning and preparation to their challenge that will put some pros to shame. Adam Phillips spoke to last year's losing semi-finalists.
As we go into the semi-final, we change to match play. Does that change anything for you guys?
Not really. Tom and I are both used to match play. Hopefully we can go on the whole way, seeing we got this far. We just have to see how it goes. It's all on the day, really.
What would it mean if you go a step further this year?
It would mean personally a lot to both of us because we put a lot of work into this. We flew over and practiced the course about a month ago, so we put the work in, so it just depends on the day how we do.
Kevin and Tom's opponents were the first ever winners of the American Golf 9-Hole Championship in 2015, and it's not over yet for them in 2016.
So into the semi-final now, it turns into a match play situation. Does that change anything for you guys?
I think we're just going to have similar attitude to last year, aren't we? A little bit cliched, one shot at a time, but anything's a bonus. At least we've put a good defensive as title up, but it wants to come and finish 6th or 7th in Stableford, so we're happy really. I think the fact that we've already done it, there's less pressure because we've been on the trip, we've been on the advert, we've had everything out with South. I haven't felt any pressure really this year.
You're playing your opponents in semi-final, so beat them, you're through.
Out on the course and in tipping rain, Commins and Muldoon took a nervy opening hole with a routine 5-net 4, but only just. Luke did have this putt to half the hole, but he and Mark didn't get the rub of the green, and the defending champions found themselves 1 down and already needing to show some Yorkshire grit. They found exactly that at the second, Luke making amends with this stunning approach for a gimme birdie to square the match. There was some solid golf played at the par 5 third, Kevin Commins reaching the green in 3. Luke and Mark knew they were in trouble again. Kevin left with a putt that we've seen a lot of players make during the course of this Grand Finals, and he made it as well, to take he and Tom back to 1 up, heading to the 4th tee. At the 389-yard par 4 fourth, it was Mark Kelly's turn to come to the party for the defending champions, and his fantastic long-range approach and subsequent 2-putt was good enough to see the pairs once again locked at all square in semi-final 1, heading down the 5th. That deadlock wasn't broken at the next 3 holes either, but the chances were there for both teams. Tom Muldoon making that putt for a half at 5, and then he got one of similar distance at 6, but this time for a win. No justice and seemingly no gravity in the Midlands either. The Irish duo immediately carved out another opportunity to take the lead, courtesy of this superb tee shot from Kevin Commins at the 156-yard par 3 7th. Once again though, the chance went begging, as this time both the ball and then Kevin defied gravity. Everyone was getting a little jumpy down the par 4 8th, but it was Kevin that stayed cool to find the heart of the green with this cracker. And despite going seriously airborne as the ball left the face of his putter, everything else went to plan. Yes. And that left Commins and Muldoon dormy, 1 up with 1 to play. The afterburners went on at 9 as Kevin gave he and Tom's lead some protection with another top-class approach, leaving Luke and Mark in no doubt what they needed to do at the last to force an extra hole. A shot worse off than last year and not in his best form, Mark Kelly found something special to keep the dream alive. Luke's tee shot went right into the middle of a teddy bear's picnic, but he somehow fashioned a recovery to the apron. 2 from there might still be good enough to take the match down the 10th. Although Kevin still had this putt to take anything Luke and Mark could do out of the equation. It wasn't to be though, so the defending champions' destiny remained in their own hands. Mark was first to putt, and the pain of that miss was all too easy to see. Was that his last shot of this year's championship? Partner Luke, now with every single ounce of pressure firmly on his shoulders, had the last throw of the dice. The dream of retaining the title was over. Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon win the match 1 up and march on into the final. Confirmation of that first semi-final result then, a win by the narrowest of margins for the Irishman. Coming up after the break, more great match play golf as O'Brien and Keane take on father and son team, the Hodgsons, in the second semi-final of the American Golf 9-Hole Championship, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the Belfry and continued coverage from the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. Irish pairing Kevin Commons and Tom Muldoon have given us the first dramatic result of the match play phase, knocking out the defending champions Eustace and Kelly in semi-final 1. Time now to find out who'll be taking them on in the final as another Irish pair, Keane and O'Brien, go head-to-head with England's father and son team, the Hodgsons, in semi-final 2. Let's meet the players. 17 handicapper James Keane and partner Dennis O'Brien, playing off 15, have approached this 9-hole championship with a very specific plan, and it's working.
You're into the semi-finals. The team is obviously working well. What's the key?
Him. Look at the card. The key is to keep it in play. Just conservative, keep it in play. Try and get onto the green and then take. When you're in trouble, take your medicine. That's what we're doing anyway, and it's working so far.
So the semi-final goes into match play.
Yeah.
Does that change anything for you guys?
Yeah, if it takes a 6, it takes a 6. If it takes a 7, it takes a 7. We don't mind once you win the hole. So that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Guys, wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks, Alex.
Their opponents, the Hodgsons, hail from Boston Golf Club in Lincolnshire. Son James and dad Steve have made family ties work in their favour.
Does it help you guys being a father and son team?
Yeah, we work well together. We know each other's game well because we play a lot together, so we know when someone's going to go for it and when to lay up.
With him being the better player, he knows my limited capabilities, so he puts me straight most of the time. So.
And what are your thoughts going into this semi-final?
This is what we want. We said when we came here, we just get ourselves into the finals and take it from there. So we've done what we wanted.
Yeah, everything's bonus for me. So.
Keane and O'Brien got off to an electrifying start, Dennis draining this clonking putt from the back of the first green to take the lead. James Keane attempted to turn the screw at the second with an impressive approach. Gauntlet thrown down, one might say, but immediately picked up with this response from 12 handicapper Steve Hodgson. Classic match play with a fine shot. Steve two-putted though, failing to take his chance, meaning this putt from James was good enough to spoil the party for a half and preserve the lead for he and Dennis. They held on to that lead at the third hole as well, in the face of some more great golf. Steve's approach work was once again nullified by the spoiler. James Keane using his shot to halve another hole. At the fourth though, it was 4 handicapper James Hodgson that got his team back into this second semi-final. A stunning approach over the water to set up the opportunity to clinch the hole, which he duly did. All square going down the fifth, where Steve Hodgson was within millimetres of giving he and James the lead for the first time in this tie. But Steve carried that momentum to the sixth, and the Hodgsons finally went one up. Only James Keane made the green at 7, leaving him 2 putts from distance to put the Irishman back in the match. He was up to the task. And with only a tap-in left to win the hole, the Hodgsons called time.
O'Brien and Keane win the hole with a 3, match all square.
Classic match play tactics and all square going down the 8th. And it was a battle at the penultimate hole. Another superb effort with the wedge from Team Hodgson. This time James nearly holing out to take the lead. A gimme left 2 pressure putts for Keane and O'Brien to half the hole. Dennis first, and he shoved it wide. So it was back to the spoiler. But for once, James Keane was shy of pace, meaning the Hodgsons were back in control. 1 up, 1 to play, and they did everything right at the 9th. Steve left with 2 putts to half the hole and close the deal. But he did it in style, holing out for an emotional win. James and Steve Hodgson advanced to the final courtesy of a 2-up victory. Confirmation then of the semi-final results. Commons and Muldoon confining defending champions Eustace and Kelly to a 3rd place playoff against Keane and O'Brien. The Hodgsons' victory though sets up a fantastic England v Ireland showdown in the final of the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. A short break for the teams then to compose themselves ahead of the winner-takes-all final. while we take a chance to talk to two more ambassadors from one of American Golf's charity partners, the On-Course Foundation.
It's American Golf's aim to grow the game. We want to grow the foundation. We want more people involved with the foundation, more injured, sick, wounded service personnel getting involved. So, seeing us doing things like this is the perfect way to get people thinking, actually, that applies to me, so I'll get involved.
We lose a lot of stuff when we get injured and stuff like that, so we make new friendships and rekindle old friendships, so it's a bonus all right.
Equal to that as well is the ability to compete. Yeah. When we were injured, most of us thought we can't play football, a lot of us can't run, can't do any competitive sport, and then you find golf. And the handicap system means that anyone can play. And no matter how injured you are, you can compete side by side. So, that's something that's really, really important for rehabilitation. It'd be great to raise such awareness and, to say, look, we are competing, so.
Yeah, we don't just turn up to play, we turn up to compete, so that's what we do.
It's time for the final. Number 1 seeds Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon take on 3rd seeds Steve and James Hodgson for the 2016 American Golf 9-Hole Championship title. Ireland versus England then on the back 9 for top honours to walk in the footsteps of the Ryder Cup superstars, starting at the legendary 10th hole. 284 yards with water protecting the green. Would anyone be tempted to go for it in this match play scenario? The Hodgsons won the toss and opted to tee it up first and get the pressure on. 12 handicapper Steve parred the hole in regulation for 3 points, but match play is a very different animal to Stableford. Steve, though, opting to lay up and finding close to position A on the fairway. 4 handicapper James is more than capable of driving this green, but a 5 here this morning might have influenced his decision to keep it safe. He nearly blew it though, pulling his tee shot slightly and lucky not to have a tree trunk between him and the flag for his second. No strangers to golfing success on Sky Sports. Irishmen Tom Muldoon and Kevin Commins have been brooding over their semi-final exit in this event last year. They make no bones about it. They're here to win this title. 16 handicapper Tom, safe and sound off the tee, leaving Kevin to reach for the big dog if he fancied it. But the 6 handicapper didn't fancy it. With iron in hand though, his ball striking is always worth closer inspection, as is that familiar look of concentration coupled with steely determination etched on Kevin's face. Everyone in play then, let's get to the fairway. There's a buzz in the air at the Belfry because we've got 4 very talented players in this final and they might all fire off each other. Spin of the club from Muldoon, he likes it. And he's the first man to fire into this green, and what a shot. Bit of pressure off Commins then, his partner is more than in play. Commins can really go at this flag, I think he's undercooked this. Is it water? No. Just survives, and that was mighty close from Commins. James Hodgson with the toughest of the approach shots here at the 10th. Not much green to work with, surely he's got to try and go past the flag and spin it back. He's more than capable. Oh, he's only just undercooked that. It'll be safe. But that's 2 shots as close to that water as you can get, but they're both dry. Just as we hoped, these players inspiring each other to some fabulous golf. Good sight of the flag then for Hodgson Senior. Muldoon in pole position at the moment. Can he respond? Oh, yes, he can. Magic. No surprise, tactics immediately came into play. Steve's putt conceded, leaving the Irishman with 2 putts to save the hole. Commins shooting wide, though, put all the pressure on partner Tom. But he's sunk a few of these on TV over the years. Steve and James pondered a possible early lead, while Muldoon on the high side squandered it. The teams then headed for the 11th tee with the Hodgsons 1 up. More action from the American Golf 9-Hole Championship final coming up after the break, right here on Sky Sports. Welcome back to the Belfry and the match play final of the American Golf 9-Hole Championship. English father and son pair Steve and James Hodgson got off to the perfect start at 10, courtesy of that fantastic approach from Dad Steve, and they headed to the 11th tee 1 up on their Irish opponents Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon. At the next hole, the Hodgsons were at it again. This time, son, 4 handicapper James, was the only player to find the green, and once again Kevin and Tom were unable to respond. They needed something special, but it didn't happen, leaving Kevin fearful of going 2 down in this final. James left with 2 putts for the hole, took both, And the Hodgsons took a huge step towards the title, 2 up with 7 left to play. The next hole, the 12th, is the first of 2 par 3s on the back 9 of the Brabazon, and no wonder Kevin and Tom were looking nervous. In regulation play this morning, James birdied this hole, but what a difference a few hours make in the sport of golf as he pulled his tee shot wide of the mark. Dad Steve had already pulled his tee shot deep into the hedgerow, leaving the Hodgsons deep in trouble. Is this the break that Tom Muldoon and Kevin Cummins are looking for in this final? One of them, preferably both of them, need to be on the green, and this hole will be theirs. Tom Muldoon then tees it up first. It's good. Oh, it's very good. Right into the heart of the green. And that's classic Muldoon. Familiar faces on Sky Sports, and local boys, incidentally, to the Belfry. Paul Llewellyn and his caddy Dave. Good friends with Tom and Kevin. They've agreed to caddy for them in this match play final. And a little local knowledge goes a long way sometimes. It's another great shot, this time from Cummins. The Hodgsons never in this 12th hole, so it's almost academic which player out of Tom and Kevin finishes it up. 2 putts for each of them to win the hole. And that will do very nicely indeed. The rot has been stopped, and Cummins and Muldoon are back in this final. Just 1 down as we head to the 13th. At the 13th, the Hodgsons desperately needed to steady the ship, but Cummins and Muldoon had other ideas, playing some ominously good golf. Tom's approach from the left side of the fairway was sublime. He parred this hole earlier today, but he was in birdie territory after that shot. Right on cue, Kevin decided he also wanted to come to the party, and if you thought Tom's shot was good, check this out. Unbelievable golf from the Irish duo, and with Dad Steve struggling to feature at 13, James Hodgson had to stay in the hole. He did so, but would need to make that putt to guarantee a half. After much deliberation, it was time to try and make it happen. But not for the first time today, a matter of millimetres, the difference between success and failure. Leaving first Tom and then Kevin with a putt each to level the match. Tom's putt slipped by, but Kevin, with the benefit of a read and from half the distance, was next up. Steve and James have lost their way in this final, and as it pours down once again, Kevin Cummins has a chance to rain on their parade. 2 down after 2 holes, this to be all square after 4. And he holds his nerve to hole out, and that means that Kevin Cummins and Tom Muldoon are back on level terms in this final as we head to the 14th. All square, 5 to play. What a match. Tom Muldoon then on the tee. He parred this in regulation earlier today, but James Hodgson birdied it. And Tom and Kevin will know exactly what their playing partners did because they partnered them in this morning's second round. Oh, it's a purple patch for the Irish pair. It's another classic match play shot from Tom Muldoon. What a way to take the pressure off your partner. And importantly, it means that it leaves Kevin Cummins with the door open. He can just go at this flag now. Well, it sounded nice. He likes it. In fact, I'd say he loves it. Watching it all the way. Oh, and that's why.
Well done, buddy.
Well done indeed. Cummins and Muldoon piling on the pressure, and James Hodgson knew that there was only one thing for it. He'd have to birdie this hole again. But it was a case of never up, never in. So another chance for the Irish pair to win a hole. Tom going far closer than he initially thought. Steve Hodgson had to make this chip to influence proceedings, but it was an outside chance. A great shot, but he knew that if he could still see the ball, he and James were looking at 1 down. Kevin Cummins, the man with the chance to make that happen. And for the first time in the match, the Irishman had the lead. Cummins and Muldoon 1 up and heading purposefully to the 15th tee. Kevin and Tom birdied the par 5 15th this morning, while the Hodgsons had a very smelly 7. It was a scrappy hole for both teams in the final though, and another test of putting nerve. Tom with this to go 2 up in the match. And boy, did he give it a go. That left James with a tester to salvage a half and keep he and Dad Steve in the hunt. great putt. Not big on emotion, James, but just about kept his game face on. Commins and Muldoon still one up, but now only 3 to play in this fantastic final. At 16, Kevin Commins was back to his best with another stunning approach. And with no immediately viable response from their opponents, he was left with 2 putts for that so far elusive 2-up cushion. It took the 2, but that was of no consequence as the lead and a massive swing in momentum swept Kevin and Tom to the 17th, Dormy 2 up. The 2015 final finished at 17 when Luke Eustace sunk a serious putt from distance. But the only serious putt opportunity at a nervy hole for both pairs in this final fell to Steve Hodgson, and the man they call the Warrior knew this one was to take the match down 18. What a putt from Steve to keep that dream of the American Golf 9-hole title alive and to take this fantastic final the distance. Still dormy though, Commins and Muldoon knew that a half at 18 would be good enough to claim the trophy. Tom Muldoon and James Hodgson looked unlikely to influence the hole after their tee shots, but Steve Hodgson with a shot at this hole set about getting plenty of pressure on with this superb drive to position A, just short of the water. It was a classic match play scenario for Kevin Commins then. He knew he needed to be in play, or it could mean trouble. Not his best strike, but straight down to pick up the tee only ever means one thing, even for the amateurs. No dramas with the drive, into the fluffy stuff, but with a shot at the green. And what a shot! Around about 210 yards over the water to the flag on the top tier. And he flushed it for one of the shots of the season. One hand on the trophy for Commins and Muldoon then, and it was down to Steve Hodgson to try and save the day. Another sweet strike straight at the pin, and skipping to the back of the green to leave a chipping chance, and then a putt if required, to maybe, just maybe, level the match. Now, as all of you watching know so well, during your golfing career, chances come, and unfortunately, chances go, leaving Kevin in the driving seat with this putt for the title. He was airborne again, but not jumping for joy because he knew that Steve still had a putt for the hole to take this match into overtime. Apart from the obvious candidates, I can't think of anyone that wants this match to finish. It's been a brilliant final. Can Steve complete the comeback? No, he's pulled it. It's all over. Kevin Commins and Tom Muldoon are the 2016 American Golf 9-hole champions with a fabulous 1-up win over Steve and James Hodgson in a final befitting a national title. It was a good afternoon for Ireland. Keenan O'Brien beating Eustace and Kelly to claim 3rd place. Adam Phillips is with the winners.
You're 2 up with 2 to play and then they won the 17th. What was going through your mind then?
Well, we're always 2 down after 2. So I thought he made a great comeback. And on the 18th, I was standing over a shot and I did think of Christy O'Connor. And I said, if I play a shot like him, I won't be disappointed. And I probably played one of the best shots of my life.
Went down to the last hole, the last putt, so you couldn't ask for any tighter match. It's a fantastic sponsorship, it's a fantastic event, and events being run by them, and I believe they're having more events next year.
I think that's a great thing because there's an awful lot of people saying that when you get the family involved, you can play a lot more. My wife plays, my daughter plays, and my son plays it, so hopefully maybe we might come back as a family.
Well guys, once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The last champions of this magnificent season are crowned to make it 15 winners across the American Golf 9-hole, junior, long drive, senior and ladies championships at our grand finals, along with the thousands of players that took part in the regional qualifying events across the UK and Ireland. And what better time than the end of one amazing season to look forward to the next. Here's American Golf's Daniel Gathercole once again.
The key for us is to get as many people playing golf as possible. We've got in a scratch tournament, an individual tournament, adventure golf, pitch and putt and a family cup. Now it's just taking it to the next level and creating more of a tour feel, going from 5 tournaments to 10 tournaments and then hopefully beyond that. I want it to become the European Tour for amateur golfers.
So that's it for 2016, but there's plenty to look forward to in 2017. Thanks for joining us to watch the events on Sky Sports. And from us here at the American Golf team, well done and congratulations to all of you that took part. And just think, next year, it could be you. For more information, go to americangolf.co.uk.